He's in the lead helicopter, but following him in a follow-on aircraft, the Apache helicopter, a much more modern and more powerful design, is another Jeff Moss. It's Jeff Moss Jr. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a piece of history that has never happened anywhere at an air show, on several levels. Father-son being one of them. The other, a civilian-owned former military Vietnam veteran helicopter in the lead, followed by a current Air Force helicopter, the Apache. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what we get to see here. The Dayton Airshow so very, very special. The aircraft saw battle damage from the jungles of Vietnam to the desert sands of Iraq during Operation Desert Storm. And former Army Captain Jeff Moss is flying back. The age 64 is Condor Troop 276 with a hard pull to the left in the hover, Jeff Moss Jr. For the first time in Army aviation history, you are witnessing America's first and second generations of attack helicopters being flown in the same airspace by first and second generation attack helicopter pilots. Jeff Sr. is a Desert Storm veteran, has been flying Cobras for the Army Aviation Heritage Foundation and Flying Museum for over 20 years. And he started taking his son, Jeff Jr., to the Hampton, Georgia hangar where he was around when he was around 8 years of age. And that inspiration that Jeff Jr. received from veteran members, enlisted and non-commissioned officers and commissioned officers, pilots, crew chiefs, and mechanics, inspired Jeff Jr. to become an Army aviator. Jeff Moss Sr. on the left. Jeff Moss Jr. on the right. He has attended the Dayton Airshow most of his life with his dad. This is really an exceptional demonstration. Opportunities that they don't present themselves very often, do they? Not very often. The west side, rear of the front area, with the exception of just a couple of times during the show, they will be bringing off the air show.
Oh, he's good. Watch it from over there. That's what'll screw it up.
There are pictures in the family photo albums of Jeff Jr. standing next to the Cobra here in Dayton on static. By the sounds that many of us here in Miami Valley, it's one the whooping swoosh of the rotors and the crack of the helicopter, together with a hum of its turbines, jet engines that glide through the air. About 180 miles per hour, the transport passes through a need of World War II was really dropped to the forefront of Korea, then Vietnam, and the late 1970s it continued on. And studies from the Vietnam War showed that wounded soldiers who were transported by air demonstrated improved survival rates and fewer complications. In 1983, Fairflight was launched, becoming the first air medical program in the region in the 65th.
Well, that's this one.
October 3rd, that same year,
I'd like to see this
completing its first patient transport. From St. Mary's, Ohio, up the road, the official start of life-saving critical care air transport in the Miami Valley.
So
in the beginning, Fairflight used a small single engine aircraft with single tank speed for projected and targeted its speeds of about 140 miles per hour.
Yeah, I can hear it fine. It doesn't interfere with talking, but I can hear what
in
you're saying.
1989, they upgraded to the AS-365 Dolphin aircraft, the fastest twin-engine helicopters in the region, capable of transporting 2 patients at a time. The Airbus Dolphin helicopter is known for its speed and safety features. Unlike standard helicopters that have good training, Fairflight helicopters have the capability that allows the aircraft to sacrifice safety measures to are typically open, and so the fencing system offers additional protection, especially when responding to accidents. A sophisticated electronic cockpit fully integrated autopilot and complete instrument flight capability, rounded CareFlight compensation gear. Thanks to these unique capabilities, CareFlight pilots have options to transport critically ill or injured patients when other air transport services cannot. Operating 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. There are now 4 Dolphin helicopters and nearly 200 staff members comprised of pilots, mechanics, medical teams, and communications specialists. In its 39 years of service to the community, CareFlight has transported more than 78,000 patients. The helicopters are equipped the same as an intensive care unit or a minute when life hangs in the balance. All first responders and hospitals in the region, including some
Costs a lot of money to send them
emergency
for an
service,
accident.
take the CareFlight. They proudly served as the medical response team for the Dayton Airshow since 1983, and they report is celebrating 39 years of care in the air with guests at this year's Airshow. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for CareFlight. It is good to know that that crew walked away from that front, means that even though that whatever the cause was, the pilots took care of the helicopter, brought it down safely so that all could walk away.
That is America.
It is indeed.
Let's fly again.